Hi, my name is Stephen Pope and I'm myamazonguy.com. In this video, I will be showing you how to do feedback removal on Amazon through Seller Central and discussing why it's important. So when you're talking about feedback removal, I've created this whole guide to kind of explain step by step on how to go through everything. First things first though, why is it important? When your score displays publicly to the consumer, it affects your buy box percentage, how often you're rotated into the buy box, especially important if other people are selling your same products. And in fact, it also impacts conversion rates. So regardless of whether you're selling your own item, when a consumer sees that the seller has a rating above a certain rating, it will help improve their anxiety and make them more likely to convert. And so you can see in this guide here, 4.8 stars out over the past 12 months, 710 ratings in this particular screenshot. And when I went through and did feedback removal, I was able to go from like a 4.5 all the way to a 4.8 for this particular client I worked with. And that was like a 5% improvement to what the consumer sees, because they base it out of stars, and they also base it out of a percentage. So you see both when you're going on to the Amazon detail page. So let's take a look at what this looks like on a live listing. So I'm just on the home page. My kid likes Play-Doh, so I'm clicking on Play-Doh, right? Now, I don't want this to be confused with the product rating. So this is a product rating. Getting product rating removals is very difficult. I would say I have maybe a 1% success rate with that. It has to be an extreme terms of condition violation for Amazon to remove that. Product removal is not what this video was focused on, but if you do want to try and get one removed, you just scroll down to the product review and hit report abuse. Pretty much has to have a giant cuss word or personal information in it. Otherwise, really haven't ever gotten another one removed. They like them to stick. But we are talking about seller reviews in this one. So you can see seller information when we click to see all sellers for this particular product. And so a guy that has no reviews shows up right there, just launched, no stars. So this individual has a 93% rating. So if you're high-tech novelties out there, you should be following this particular guide or hire me to come take care of this, because we could do some feedback removal and get him closer to a 98 or a 99% just by simply following this guide. But as you can see here, there's various ratings for all these consumers. Now, if I'm a consumer and all of these are the same price, I may decide which seller I want to engage with, especially if it wasn't a Prime item and I was choosing between non-Prime sellers. I want to know who I can trust to give my money to get me that item as quickly as possible. Well, first things first, I'm going to look at who's got the most ratings, and I'm going to look at who's got the best ratings. So somebody at a 95% with 8,100 ratings, they're doing pretty good for themselves. Somebody with a 91% though, USA Best Supply, I probably wouldn't buy from them, because I can see they've dropped the ball more often. Now, with that said, a lot of feedback that consumers give on a seller review account, which is what we're looking at today, is in violation of Amazon terms of services. So specifically, if somebody gives you a product review inside of a seller review, that's against T&C. You can get that removed. So when you're doing feedback removal, you go into Seller Central, you click Help on the top right, click Contact Us in the bottom right. Love the new Amazon Seller Help UI. They make you go click everywhere, right? It's super annoying. So, and then you land on this page and you hit selling on Amazon Issued, Customers, and Orders. Type in the order ID here. You'll notice in this one, it's a 3-star review and they've wrote, "It's a bandana." Super helpful information, right? Give you a ton of insight. So we're going to write product feedback and then we're going to hit submit. And what that's going to do is it's going to trigger a review from Amazon. Now, many instances, feedback removal is automated, and they're just going to be able to use a bot that goes through and says, "Yep, you're right, violates T&C," and then they remove it. In other instances, it will need a human review. If the human review disagrees and says, "Hey, we're not going to remove that," don't give up. You can follow up with that ticket and try again. You can even open up a new ticket and fight it further. The most I've ever fought a feedback removal was 7 times. I was in the right on that particular one, and I just wouldn't take no for an answer, and I got it removed. So all things are possible. So once you remove enough feedback, your seller rating will go up. You improve your conversion rates. You improve the times you're going to show up in the buy box. And it's a super important thing. Now, how often should you be doing this? I recommend you do it once a week. And whoever's in charge of your customer service, this is a very clerical task. It's easy to replicate, and the guide is self-explanatory. You need to go in there and take care of it once a week. And the reason I say that is consumers are going to give you some feedback in there that you might be able to fix and address. You don't want to lose that customer. So regardless of whether the feedback removal is just this protocol we're going through to help you sell more products, it's also good to review the actual feedback. Because if a consumer says, hey, I bought 2, but I only got 1 shipped, and it's an FBA order, technically they're supposed to call up Amazon and get that sorted out. But you as the seller could fix it on their behalf, or make it right for the consumer, or direct the consumer to contact Amazon. There's a lot of different things you could do. Other instances, maybe they got the wrong item, or it was damaged. There's other things that could happen, or maybe they just simply didn't like the product, so you can offer their money back. You don't want to necessarily lose them as a consumer or whatnot. But at the very least, remove the feedback, especially if it's a product review or something that, about shipping, nothing that's that should be in seller feedback ratings. And you can see the reasons below. You can select for language, personal information, product feedback, fulfillment by Amazon feedback. So there's all kinds of things that are in there. So when you first do this, make sure you go do a full 365 days of your feedback. And there's a link in my guide that will explain how to get to that spot. And the reason I say that is you're going to be able to get a solid chunk of reviews removed. If you've got thousands and thousands of reviews, you could be ending up removing a couple hundred negatives and your rating will skyrocket. And then moving forward, do it on a weekly basis. So I am My Amazon Guy. You can see me at myamazonguy.com. I help sellers and other Amazon retailers with their Amazon accounts, full management service, and I can help you remove your feedback, negative reviews if you want my help. Just give me an email at steven@myamazonguy.com, and feel free to share this video with other sellers you know who might need to improve their seller rating. Thanks very much.